In this video, I'll show you how to build an AI BDR that works just like a human, trained on your go-to-market playbook, so you can automate any custom research process that you have, write hyper-personalized cold email sequences based on your requirements, all under 20 cents per prospect. You can have these agents send out the emails at scale via Smartlead, and you can plug in a CSV and let your AI BDR do the rest end to end, so you can book more meetings with much less manual work while keeping quality and relevancy at a high level. Now, I've brought you some receipts here only from the last few weeks. Feel free to stop the video on screen now. A bunch of sales folks coming back and praising the personalization. Now, all these emails were generated completely autonomously with an AI agent system that I'm about to show you. If you don't know me, I'm Betty. Over the past few years, I've generated over $20 million in qualified pipeline value. I've built more than 50 AI agent systems in production, sent millions of AI personalized cold emails. Now, if you zoom into this system, what you'll see here is the only input that this AI agent system needs is first name, last name, and company name. So essentially, you can upload a CSV containing only these columns, and the agent is going to spit out a hyper-personalized sequence on the other end, adding the sequence and kicking the sequence off in Smartlead. So this is the end result here. The agents have added 2 leads. Obviously, these emails are dummy emails, so you guys don't message Nick Feeney from Loom. And this is an example sequence that the AI agent has generated. But how does it work? If we zoom into the multi-agent system, we see 2 agents here. We have a manager agent, that's the AI BDR. I called it AI BDR Tony. And we have a sales strategist that's responsible for the contact research and the company research here. First is going to do an enrichment based on these 3 details. I'll show this to you later in Relevance AI. And it's going to find the company LinkedIn, personal LinkedIn, company website. So it's just basic enrichment. So later, it's able to do in-depth research based on the company website, the LinkedIn, finding the technologies, tapping into Apollo's knowledge base, finding open jobs and roles on LinkedIn, finding relevant social proof from our own database, AI GTM Labs database, the customers that we currently work with. And finally, it's going to synthesize all that research and generate a hyper-personalized sequence that it's uploading to Smartlead, and Smartlead is going to be responsible for the sequencing. Now, let's dive in. Let's look into the agent itself. So if you're not familiar with this tool, this is Relevance AI. It's an AI workforce platform, one of the best out there. You can build AI agents with this tool. And what you see here is my AI agent called Tony, who got triggered with the contact name, the company name, and the contact email, and it delegated to the sales strategist. Now we go into the core instructions, and in this video I'm going to go through the main building blocks of this agent, and in later videos I'll zoom into the individual building blocks, and I'm going to build them out from scratch as well. But yeah, in this video I just wanted to give you an overview, and you can also reach out to me and I'll share this whole template with you. So basically we give a role to this agent and we define its company based on this variable. Now these variables can be accessed in the template settings. So you see my company name is AI GTM Lab. I've also got a company description here. You'll see the variable for that as well. And I'm referencing all these variables in the core instructions. And what I'm also referencing is the different tool names. So this agent has 2 AI tools connected to it. So the Craft Killer Message Sequence tool, which we're going to zoom into later. And it also has the ability to add prospects to Smartlead email campaign. It also has a sub-agent connected to it, also the sales strategist. And here we define all the rules and the communication template between the parent agent and the sub-agent. And in the core instructions, you'll see the standard operating procedure. So whenever this parent agent receives a task, then it has to follow this operating procedure. We're using GPT-4o Mini to stay low with cost. As I mentioned, This whole system, an end-to-end workflow, costs less than 20 cents, which is really amazing. So yeah, first it's going to delegate to the sales strategist. Then it's going to use the craft killer message sequence tool to generate the cold email sequence itself. And then it's going to add the person to Smartlead. Now let's look at this actual flow here. So what happened? We triggered the parent agent with these details and it delegated to the sub-agent. This is the message that the parent agent sent to the sub-agent based on this template here. So this is the communication template. Every time the parent agent delegates to the sub-agent, it's going to say this: hey, research about the prospect and conclude their jobs to be done. First name, last name, company name, and contact email. And so this is what exactly happened here. If we want, we can zoom into this agent. So I can open it in a new tab. And now you will notice that the sub-agent is an agent in itself as well. So if I scroll up, this is the final research report that sales strategist Eddie has generated based on these input details. And this agent is governed by its own core instructions. It has its own role, company details, its rules to follow, and so on and so forth. And it has gone through 16 different steps. So first, it enriched the user based on Google and LinkedIn. We can zoom into this tool later in a separate video. It found details on the contact LinkedIn profile. And so finally, it generated this research report. This is very long, very detailed. Now, this whole end-to-end flow costs 135 credits, which is a bit above 20 cents. But if you want, you can very easily just cut some of these tool runs. So you can take my template, scroll here to the bottom where we define the standard operating procedure for this agent and the tool used, and you can just cut whatever you don't like here. This is really overkill what I'm doing here. So I'm really just trying to show you what's possible and really to prove that this is the most that it's going to cost for you. Now, once the sales strategist comes back with an in-depth contact and company report, it is going to delegate everything back to Tony, the BDR. So here, I'm back to my original task. So we kicked off the sub-agent with these inputs. The sub-agent has generated this in-depth report based on our instructions within the sub-agent. And finally, it came back with the report, and the parent agent, the BDR, is using this craft killer message sequence tool to generate the hyper-personalized cold email sequence, which looks like this. So I just scrolled down here. This shows the actual tool run. So, hi Shane, saw your LinkedIn post on March 5, 2025 about Gong suppressing 300 mil, which is great. If you could generate more sales accepted meetings on a predictable basis, would you be interested in a chat? We only get paid if we deliver value to you. So this is a Hormozy style value equation, which I like to use. Then some kind of social proof. We have companies like Gong to generate more meetings in a short period, guaranteed ROI within a month. Then email touch 2. Hey Shane, so Gong is hiring a GTM strategy manager on your careers page. If you could save time and money on Monday repetitive GTM tasks. So just notice here how the agent is able to connect the dots between Gong hiring a GTM strategy manager and saving time and money on repetitive and mundane GTM tasks. So these guys can really focus on other things. So like AI GTM Lab is all about like automation, AI agents in go-to-market. So that's our pitch, and that's what we want to connect to. Email touch 3, we basically call out Gong's notable customers that our sales strategist was able to find, and we say, hey, we see that LinkedIn, Snowflake, and Zillow are your notable customers. Do you want to get more of them? So it's like a show and tell, right? We're showcasing that our AI agents are able to source this information. Again, we work on a performance-only basis. I love the Hormozy style value equation. So I instructed my agent to use this type of messaging. And then the last one is basically just a goodbye touch. Again, here I instructed my agent to have what I call the agent reveal. So it reveals that it's an AI agent Again, it's like a show and tell. It's like almost like a lead magnet. So the email itself is a lead magnet. Hey, this is what we can do. Do you want us to do this for you? And finally, the agent is going to add this person to Smartlead with this email sequence. And that's what we can see here. And all the Smartlead sequences, like email setups and everything, probably that's for another video. If you're interested, just let me know in the comments. So all these things are going to be done in Smartlead, of course. Now, I wanted to show you a few things because I mentioned that this sequence was written based on my instructions, right? But where do I provide all these instructions? And I quickly wanted to show you that. So we went through the core instructions on the BDR level. This BDR has a few variables here under the template section. So we have the ability to provide our company details. This is my company details. It's just plain text. The length of the email touches, the number of email touches we want to send. This is highly flexible and scalable, so it can be 5 or 3 or 6 or whatever you prefer. The time delays between the email touches, the Smartlead campaign ID. So basically you get this from the URL, and the key theme for email touch 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is super important. So when you're doing cold emails, you want to be able to A/B test. And we want to be able to somehow keep some of the variables constant and change only 1 or 2 things in every subsequent iterations. And this is a great method for how we can do that. So this is how we instruct the agent to keep like offer angle, for example, or the value proposition the same across our campaigns. And for everything else, like tone of voice or personality within the email, we will add the instructions to someone else. But we really want to make sure that the agent behaves the way we want it to behave. So this is email touch 1, email touch 2. The key theme of these are we scale go-to-market systems with AI agents. The first one is hyper-personalized outbound lead generation with AI agents. We share some of the guarantees here, the call to actions, and some of the key themes really that the agent should put into the email. And yeah, email touch 3, as we saw, we help you get more notable customers for the prospect. So basically, when the parent agent looks at the sales strategist's output, based on our instructions in the template and in this tool, the agent is going to look at the in-depth research and is going to source only those insights that are most relevant based on the email themes that I require the agent to use. All right, so that's it for this video. I don't want to make this too long. This is just the first video of a series. In next videos, I'm going to dive deep into the individual building blocks and how I built this whole AI agent system and how you can do the same. Feel free to reach out to me and I can share this template and you can just take it, clone it. It's going to take 20 cents per prospect to run the template, and you can customize the template with your company name, your company description.